Rolling. Go ahead.
Render Crayton, B-roll, take 5.
So Render, you have quite a collection of history in front of you. Tell me about these objects.
Well, I'll start from this side. This is a tube of toothpaste that the Vietnamese gave us. The tube is lead, and they didn't realize it, but you could write messages with that, and so we got away with a lot with that toothpaste, and we use that for a lot of things. You put it on if you had a cut or something, you could put that toothpaste on there, and for some reason it did some good. And then so just a couple of packages of cigarettes, Trung Song cigarettes.
And you got to, were you a smoker at the time, sir?
No, I was not. But after about 5 years, I watched other people smoking the cigarettes they gave them, and they seemed to enjoy it, and it seemed to pass. It was something to pass the time. So I started smoking, and I kept smoking for a couple of years after I got out, and then I quit again. But it just, you'd smoke it down to the last little bit.
And how did it work? That they just give you as many cigarettes as you wanted? Or
no, they'd give you, they'd dole them out one at a time. And if you're a good boy, they would give you cigarettes. If you were not a good boy, they'd just pass you up and you wouldn't get a cigarette. So anyway, this is a cigarette holder that I live in a cell next to some Thai prisoners, 3 of them who had been captured, and they made this, they just carved this out of a piece of wood, and so I could smoke the cigarette down as low as possible. They also made me a cigarette case. And here are the matches that they use. We didn't get to keep the matches, but anyway, that's what the Vietnamese used. And then this is an all-purpose cup. You used it for just about everything, to eat stuff out of, to drink water out of. When we'd go to take they'd let us out to take a bath, you'd dip it in a big tank of water and you'd pour the water over you using this. And I'm telling you, in the middle of the winter, it was cold in Vietnam, and so boy, it'd get your attention real fast when you dipped that cup in there and poured the first cup over you. But it was worth it.
It was also a communication device, was it?
Yeah, we would use this. We would use this to, you'd roll your blanket up and make it into a donut, and you'd put it against the wall, and the person on the other side we'd find the spot where the center of this donut was, and the person on the other side would put this up against his ear, and it amplified, and so you could actually talk through the wall, even though the wall was, I don't know, 2 or 3 feet thick. And so it was a good tool. This is some soap that they gave us. It's not exactly Palmolive or any of those kind of soaps. This one is, it looks like they just cut up a whole bunch of different kind of soaps and put them together, and this was a soap that was, it was really strong, and would it didn't lather very well, but it did the trick. And then this was my spoon that I used to eat with, and that was about the only purpose I could figure out for that. And then I have a sweater here that I brought home with me. This is something they gave us to wear when we boarded the bus to go out to Jalam to get on the airplane. Gave us a sweater and a kind of a gray jacket to go over the sweater. And I didn't get to keep the jacket, but I did keep the sweater, and it's just a memorabilia. And then I'm sure a lot of people know what these were, but these were just samples of bracelets that people bought. They had my name on it, Commander Render Crayton, and the date of shoot down, 2/7/66. So I was amazed when I came home with the number of people who sent me bracelets and said they had worn them. There were high school kids, grown people, old people, and a lot of people said they never took them off.
How'd that make you feel?
Well, it gave me a really good feeling. And as a matter of fact, we found out about these bracelets because when new guys would get shot down, they would bring in the news and they told us about these bracelets. So that really upped our morale considerably to know that people were willing to do that for us, because the Vietnamese wanted to make us think that the American people had forgotten us and that we were criminals and that they didn't want anything to do with us. So it's proved otherwise. And so that's my little bag of tricks that I got from the Vietnamese.
Beautiful, sir.
And they're not getting it back either.
Okay, I'll go ahead and cut.